Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. This is your first time here, welcome. Today is going to be a research video and it's going to be on antique postcards. So I was lucky enough to win a really big box of some antique postcards recently. So I wanted to do some research to kind of see how much they sell for and maybe which ones sell for a lot. So I'm going to show you Christmas, Valentine's, St. Patrick's, and New Year's postcards that sell for pretty good money, considering you can get these pretty low cost at a lot of different places. So we're going to take a look at those and I'm going to show you what they sell for, and let's go ahead and take a look at some amazing postcards. I want to start this off by saying I am by no means a postcard expert. I do not sell them. I actually have kind of flopped trying to sell them in the past, but this time I got only antique postcards, which seem to do quite a bit better than more modern or just vintage postcards. When I say antique, I mean those that are over 100 years old. So that would be from 1923 or earlier. So I was doing some research to kind of see how much these sell for, and I'm just going to share that experience with you now. So there were not very many New Year's postcards really at all, and I actually got quite a few. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some New Year's Eve postcards that sold for good money. First up is this 1900s New Year's Greetings embossed postcard. This one sold for a best offer on $17.98, which isn't a ton of money, but if you get these postcards for a quarter or a dollar, not too bad. And I did want to show you on the back here, this one was handwritten, wishing you happiness during the coming year, and it is postmarked with a 1-cent stamp. And again, $17.98 for something you might be able to find for a dollar is not that bad of a profit. All right, up next is a really cool early 1900s New Year's postcard with cherubs on it. So this one sold for a little bit more. This is an antique early 1900s ephemera postcard embossed January 1st with 2 baby angels. This one, they took a best offer of $23.01. And this one, I think it's cool. It says a January 1st. I have one that's pretty cool. It says 1908 on the front of it. And this is a great sale at $23. Up next is a New Year's card that I think kind of mixes the two holidays. So we are going up in price, and I am doing these just by category of the holiday. So this next one has shamrocks as well as a New Year's greeting. This is a 1905 New Year Girl with Shamrocks. This one, however, sold for $39.95, which is a little bit better. You're going to see as this video goes along, there are some good ones. This one is super cute with the girl in the mushroom. Mushrooms are pretty popular right now. I think if I were selling this, I would have put mushrooms and gnomes in that title, but still a great sale at $39.95. And I did want to show you the back of this one. So this one also was postmark, and it's kind of cool that they just wrote the name and where they live. This one, again, another 1-cent stamp and a great sale at almost $40. All right, we're getting up. The next one is $89 for a single postcard. This is an antique Falstaff beer. So again, when you see these postcards that kind of combine two things, like this one has Falstaff beer as well as New Year's on it. This one, it says mechanical postcard for beer limp St. Louis. This one sold for a best offer of $89. So pretty cool on that one. And then on the back, this one actually is really cool. This person had absolutely gorgeous writing. It says many happiness for birthday and it was written to Mr. Frank in Philadelphia, PA. So it was a New Year's card, but it looks like the person actually sent it for a birthday. Up next is another New Year's postcard. This one has flying pigs. So I think with a lot of these, the draw for causing them to sell so much is the graphics on them. So let me show you this one. This is an antique postcard, 1900. Pigs celebrate New Year. It does say there is writing on one side. The single postcard with the pigs, they actually look like they might be skiing or flying. And this single postcard sold for almost $100. All right, that was all of the New Year's ones that really caught my eye. Now I'm gonna show you some St. Patrick's ones. These are gonna start off at $10 and increase in value. This first one is an antique ABC toy wood illustration, Irish embossed blocks with early 1900s St. Patrick's Day postcard. Really, really cool. This one had the blocks with it as well as this really cool Irish hearts postcard, and this one sold for $10, and that was a pretty good sale. Again, a lot of times you can find these postcards for a quarter, 50 cents, or $1. Up next is another St. Patrick's Day one. This one sold for $15. This is an antique 1900 St. Patrick's Day Erin postcard with a metal 4-leaf clover. This one sold for $15. So this one's pretty cool. It has the very fancy lady in her dress as well as that metal, making this a 3D postcard, and this one sold for $15. All right, now we are getting up to one that sold for $20 for a St. Patrick's Day card. St. Patrick's Day is another one that there were not many. And if you like this video, I will do some more with some of those bigger holidays. I know Halloween is going to be fantastic, and we are going to cover Valentine's later in this video. So this is a St. Patrick's Day shamrock 4-leaf clover bow embossed antique vintage postcard. This one sold for a best offer on $19.85. Really, really simplistic with that 4-leaf clover, but still the single postcard sold for almost $20. All right, up next is a really, really cool St. Patrick's Day card with a 4-leaf clover and a lovely lady in the middle of it. This is an antique ephemera, 1903 litho Victorian style Edwardian era St. Patrick's Clover Girl. This postcard sold for $25.14. Beautiful graphics on this, so definitely keep an eye out for graphics that stand out to you. And if you can describe them well, I think you could do well with holiday postcards. All right, I had to show you this next one because it was almost a $2,000 sale. It was almost 500 postcards. So this kind of goes both ways. If you find a book of postcards at an estate sale, you could choose to just lot them all up, sell them as one big bundle, and get quite a bit like this seller did. However, on the flip side, as a seller looking to purchase inventory, if you purchase something like this, you're about $3 in a card, which me personally, I wouldn't want to be more than probably $2 in a card, but you could definitely triple, quadruple your money buying a set of postcards just like this. So let me show you this big lot. Again, it was almost 500 postcards. This is an all holiday, including St. Patrick's Day, Clapsaddle Children. This had 479 cards. This one sold for $1,625. So again, you're a little over $3 in a card. I just wanted to show you the seller did open it up and show some of the graphics of the cards inside of this book. So keep an eye out. Again, if you want to bundle them and put them together, then you can possibly make, if you pay only 50 cents or $1 each, you would have at least tripled your money on these. All right, now we are going to move on to Christmas. These actually start at $50 for a single card and go all the way up over $200. And following these Christmas cards, we're going to go into Valentine's ones. So there are some really fun ones coming up. Don't go anywhere. Let me show you this first Christmas one that sold for over $50. This is a Santa Claus Green Germany antique postcard, gold gilt lantern and toys. This one sold for $50. And I did want to show you the back of this one. This one was never posted, so there's no writing, and that was a great sale. $54.50. Watch for postcards made in Germany. I did see quite a few in the higher selling items. All right, up next is another one that went for over $50. And again, pay attention to these graphics, the look, the style. That is what can get you big money. This is a 1910s Christmas. They did put Pretty Girl, hand warmer. This is another postcard that is antique. Gorgeous, gorgeous graphics. This was by Tux. So here on the back, you can see it clearly says Tux postcards, so you would be able to research some of these if they have the makers on them and see exactly what they're selling for by searching on eBay, just like I did. And this single postcard sold for almost $80. That was a great sale. All right, up next is a really cool Hold to Light postcard. I have not dealt in postcards very much, so this is actually the first time I have seen these. I haven't come across any in my collection yet, but if you find these cards that have cutouts to hold to light, I would pick them up. This is a Christmas Hold to Light. They do abbreviate it HTL. Angel Christmas Tree Antique Postcard. This single angel postcard sold for $110. I did want to show you here on the back. This is another one that was unposted. And I also wanted to show you this seller showed a photograph with the light shining through, how beautiful the light shines through those cutouts. And that was a great sale. One postcard, $110. All right, we got another one over 110, and it's not even a Hold to Light. This one is a Germany Santa Claus card. This is a rare antique Santa Claus with a yellow coat. It does say Santa Kids Germany postcard from 1909. This single postcard sold for $120. Crazy sale on a single postcard. Here on the back, you can see this one was mailed, and this one is stamped 1909 from Iowa, and an absolutely amazing sale, $120 for a single postcard. All right, so if you think 120 is high, I'm going to show you some that are higher. I did want to go ahead and invite you to my antique postcard show over on Whatnot. So I bought hundreds of early 1900s postcards, and it's so cool. So we're going to sell them over on the Whatnot app tomorrow, Friday, May 5th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and I'm going to start them all at $2. And I'm putting this in here because I have some Germany postcards, and these Germany postcards are selling for over $100. We are going to start them all at $2. I'm going to read the messages if I'm able to you. It'll be a fun time just to hang out whether you're buying or not, and to get to see all these cool postcards I found. So definitely come over and see me on Whatnot. If you have not joined the app yet, you can get $15 free using my link, and I will put that down below. But for now, we're going to move on to a postcard that singly sold for $185. This is a antique postcard. This is another Hold to Light Christmas card with Santa driving the car. This one sold for $185. Absolutely, it's a little bit crazy to me. And here on the back, you can see it does have A Jolly Christmas. When Santa Claus comes your way knocking, may he fill well your Christmas stocking. So cute little poem there on the back, never posted, and a great sale this at $185. Up next, and it seems like if Santa is in another color besides red, that these postcards are popular. So this next one, Santa Claus is in a bluish green jacket. This is another German postcard. This one sold for $150. This is an antique Christmas. This is another hold to light card. So watch out for those hold to lights. This one says Blue Santa because he was wearing a blue uniform, and this one sold for $150. So this one's got a couple of aspects there. It's got the cutouts for the hold to light as well as Santa being in a non-traditional color, and that was a great sale at $150. All right, another Santa in a blue suit, single postcard, another over $180. This is an antique Christmas Santa in the blue suit. Watch for Santas in non-red suits. Gold trim. This single postcard sold for $185. Here's the back of that one. You can see the 1-cent postage stamp. This one was a posted card. So whether they have writing or not does not necessarily have a big impact on these prices. And that was a great sale at just under $185. All right, we have two more Christmas postcards to go through, and then we're going to go through the Valentine's one, which are really fun. These last two Christmas postcards sold for over $200 for single cards. This is a rare antique Santa Claus postman. Again, Santa's in a blue coat. This one sold for a best offer on $225. Here you can see this one was postmarked. This one is actually from 1912. So it does have writing on it and still sold for over $200. All right, the last of the Christmas cards before we move on to the Valentines. Another Santa in a non-red suit and another German postcard. This is a rare antique Germany Santa Claus postman in a dark blue coat. This one sold for a best offer on $245. Again, single postcards. Here on the back, you can see this one was posted and has a handwritten note, and that is a great sale at almost $245. All right, it is time for Valentine's Day cards. Probably one of my most favorite. These are Valentine's Day postcards, and these I'm going to show you ones that start at $20 for a single card, and we're going to end with one that sold for over $200 for a single card. So let's go ahead and get started on the Valentine's cards. The first one here is a Matador and Flamenca Spanish style heart guitar antique Valentine's postcard, and this single one sold for $20.83. You can see really, again, watch for these cute graphics on these. They can be a good seller. Up next is another little girl on the postcard. Absolutely cute. This one's a clap saddle card, and it sold for almost $25. This is a Ellen clap saddle, My Heart is True, antique postcard Valentine's Day. This little girl with her bouquet of flowers sold for $24.99, and that was a great sale. All right, the next couple are actually by Ellen Clapsaddle. So remember that name when it comes to these Valentine's postcards. Check and see who the maker or the copyright is to, and look it up if you find a bunch or you think that the graphics are amazing and they're really cute. So here's another Clapsaddle postcard. This is Ellen Clapsaddle Anti-Suffragette Saint Valentine's Day embossed postcard. This one sold for $23.50, And this one says, woman's sphere is in the home. And this one sold for $23.50 again. And watch for Ellen Clapsaddle. All right, up next is another Ellen Clapsaddle postcard. This one sold close to $30. This is an Ellen Clapsaddle 1918 antique postcard. This one has a cute little girl pushing her carriage with flowers, and it says, I'd walk with thee in rain or shine, my own and sweetest Valentine. I absolutely love reading these vintage and antique cards. It is so cool to get to see the difference in what stuff looked like then and now. And this one sold for $28.99, so almost $30 for a single postcard. All right, up next is another Germany postcard, but this time it is a Germany Valentine's postcard. This is an antique Valentine's Day postcard made in Germany. This one is unsigned, so it was not posted. This one sold for $27, and it is a beautiful, beautiful bluebird with roses, and it looks like it is kind of 3D embossed. And here on the back, I wanted to show you this one. It was in good condition, not posted, but it does say made in Germany. That was a great sale, $27 for one card, so keep an eye out for made in Germany. All right, we are moving up. This next one, a single card sold for over $40. This is a 1911 John Winch Smucker Pretty Woman Hat Gold Heart Valentine's Day. So if you're selling these, you want to use as many descriptive words as you can. This single postcard sold for $41.24. And here on the back, you can see, so this one was not posted, but it was probably one they used as a Valentine's Day card and handed directly to the person, and that was a great sale at $41. This next one is another one over $40. This one's kind of 3D. So again, pay attention to the graphics and the designs of these cards so you know what to look out for. This is a Valentine's Day antique postcard, spider web woman with dangling hearts. I absolutely love the blue and white colors on this one. It is embossed. This one sold for $46, and on the back here you can see this one was posted. It does have that 1 cent postage, and they didn't write anything except for the address, and that was a great sale at almost $50. All right, this is the next one sold just shy of $50 for a single card. This is an antique Raphael Tuck, so it's another Tuck postcard. Remember the name Tuck. This says Poster Girls 231 Valentine's Day Art Nouveau Lady postcard, sold for $49.95. You can see the lady in her very big hat with a rose with a butterfly. It says a Valentine message, and that was a great sale at almost $50. All right, we have just got two left. One more that sold for almost $50, and then one that sold for over $250. So let's take a look. This is a Cupids with butterfly, wings mending, hearts on fire, antique Valentine's Day postcard. This one sold for $48.88. Really, really cute with the two Cupids, the fire on the heart, and a great sale at $48.88. And I do not see this one was branded, so those graphics are super important. All right, the highest postcard of this video as a single postcard is, it's by the artist named Valentine. So it's not really a Valentine's card, it's actually a Halloween card. So if you want me to do another video like this covering Halloween cards, which I think are going to be one of the top sellers, just let me know. So let me show you this Halloween postcard by Valentine. This is an antique Halloween postcard by Valentine and Sons. This is 4 of 5, so this seller got lucky. They found 5 of these postcards. This one by itself with the witch, the black cat, and the black owl. absolutely amazing graphics. And again, if you want me to do Halloween cards, let me know. This single card sold for $259.97. All right, that is everything for the postcard research. Again, I would love it if you would come hang out with me on Whatnot Friday, May 5th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. If you're watching this later, I got hundreds of postcards, so there will be more postcard shows. All of my postcards will start at $2. So come over, see us on Whatnot. I do have a playlist with a lot of videos like this on different subject matter, such as different pieces of jewelry, like brooches, necklaces, as well as teacups. There's baskets, a ton of things to watch. So check out the playlist for the research videos if you like seeing what sells for good money. I appreciate you watching. I will see you on the next one.